Hi, my name is Diane Bruni. I'd like to show you what I've been experimenting with in my movement and now my yoga practice as well. It's a different hand alignment. It's a little bit different from what we've learned in yoga and taught in yoga. And I've been working with this for the past 5 years. I'm finding it to be incredibly beneficial and helpful, and I'd like to share with you what I've been exploring in my own practice. So the first alignment that I'm demonstrating here is the one that I first learned when I started yoga. To ground the index, started alignment-based yoga, Iyengar yoga, grounding the index finger down, grounding through the thumb mound, having the index finger straight up or straight ahead, and then eyes of the elbow creases facing one another, and the ears in line with the arms. So this is a great way to teach downward dog alignment to beginner students. Just on the wall like this, so not too much weight bearing, a little bit. So from here, I'm going to change that alignment to something I've been working with in my movement practice, and it's quite a bit different. It's actually the opposite of that. The index finger knuckle is actually off the floor, in this case off the wall, but if you were in tabletop, it would be lifting off the floor. And these natural domes and arches of the hand are what create what I've been calling the natural hand shape. In physiotherapy and medicine, it's called the functional hand. There's a natural curve to the fingers and a natural dome to the palm. So there's a bridge, an arch, that goes across these knuckles, across these knuckles, across these knuckles. There's an arch here, there's one here, there's one here, and of course what connects them all right through the middle. So the hand is actually shaped like a dome. And if we train our hands to make contact with the floor in this shape, the fingers become very resilient. A lot of people have trouble with this, I've been noticing when I'm teaching. They've been, either because they've been training flat hands and flat fingers for so long that they're having trouble finding this, or maybe just people have a lack of proprioception, the ability to feel and activate different muscles of the hands. So this can be tiring and hard to do for some people. Even though it appears to be natural, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy if you've been weight bearing with flat hands and flat fingers. Some people I know have been weight bearing with flat knuckles and fingers, but a little lift in the palm here. I've heard that from some people. And other people have been telling me that they've been grounding the knuckles, but lifting a little bit the fingers. I think maybe they do this in Anusara yoga. I'm not exactly sure. I'm hearing really through the grapevine. I don't know. But what I've been experimenting is actually none of the knuckles even on the floor, on the wall or floor at all. All the fingers are like little bridges, and all the domes are maintained. And then from here, once your hands know how to land, how to be comfortable in this position, then the hands can actually function as really powerful shock absorbers, so that the fingers are resilient and strong, and you can practice building even more strength by falling into the hands in this way, and increasing the resiliency by practicing this sort of spring off action. And we can take that exercise, once you're comfortable with that, to the floor. Now we can add a little more weight, and it makes it a little more challenging. So you got to take it in just the right doses. So the hand position again, the natural hand position, then the knuckles are slightly lifted under here as well. Index finger lifted, all of them lifted a little bit. Pressure on all of the fingertips, the edge of the thumb, the edge of the hand, and actually kind of like right here between the radius and the ulna bone, there is another little arch, and you're actually trying to feel a little bit of lift in there too. So not the whole wrist is pressing on the floor. In fact, you feel most of the effort going into the fingertips and the outer hand. And very little actually in the wrist in this position. The elbows in this position, you can take your hands a little wider as well for this one. And the elbows can be a little bit bent with the elbow creases facing forward. So the upper arm is in external rotation. The external rotators are right here. And then the connection between the pinky through the outer arm line going up across the low traps and the serratus really helps you to find the activation of the serratus muscles, which are also known as the superhero muscles, which is kind of funny. So when you have all those little details organized, then you can add weight and just check it out. So if it feels like your hands it's a struggle to weight bear with your hand in that position, you're not ready to weight bear yet. And you can just practice doing it without any weight bearing at all, just like this. It'll take time for some people to develop the strength and ability to activate the hand in this new way. So no rush, and if it doesn't work out the first few times, that's normal. You're just going to maybe practice it a little bit every time you practice. Lifting the knees and allowing for more weight if you're comfortable with this. You can keep your head in front of your arms a little bit longer. That's what I'm noticing in the natural hand position. I'm more inclined to keep my weight a little bit more forward in my arms because I can actually feel the strength coming from here, so I feel a lot stronger. I'm not in a rush to stretch it back. And I like this stretching a lot that we do in downward dog. I think it's wonderful. But I'm also really interested in building strength in different areas and in different angles. So with this hand position, you can practice then shifting where you have the hand on the floor, and eventually it becomes a locomotion movement called the quadruped. So just to recap, there are different ways to use the hands, different ways to use the arms, different ways to connect the shoulders onto the back body. It depends on what you're doing, why you're doing it, and as long as it doesn't hurt, it's probably a good thing. If you're experiencing any pain in your wrists, hands, elbows, or shoulders, I would suggest experimenting and exploring different ways to line up your arms, different ways to transfer weight. So just to review, typically in yoga, we ground the knuckles down, and really we really focus on not letting the weight go into the outer hand so much. We're also keeping the arms pretty much straight. So in this version, hands slightly turned out, knuckles off the floor, elbow creases turned forward, arms in external rotation, activating the serratus lines, so the shoulder blades are in protraction, and then coming up and having just options here where to take your weight forward, back, side, side. We'll resume this conversation. I'll be posting some more things in the weeks and months to come hoping to just share some ideas. Hopefully it helps. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you're teaching any of these ideas, what your students are telling you. Let's dialogue and research together. Thanks a lot for watching.